Hello and welcome back to another one of Paul's beer reviews, and tonight I've got a beer for you from Pilot Brewery, and this is a can of their Peach Melba Sour. Now I had this one requested by one of my viewers. Unfortunately right now the name escapes me. You left a message the other day, said do this one next, so I'm doing it as requested. So yes, Peach Melba Sour from Pilot Brewery is coming in at 4.3% ABV. It's described as a refreshingly approachable sour inspired by the classic peach Melba dessert, fresh peach and raspberry with vanilla and lactose, bringing delicious ice creamy sweetness. And on closer inspection it does say it's a peach, raspberry and vanilla sour. 330ml can. There's the artwork again, coming in at 4.3% ABV. So yes, is it going to be orange in colour, amber in colour, or is it going to be pink in colour? Let's find out. Hard to tell from the can. Oh, wow, getting the aroma on that straight away. Wow, it's got Christ, really quite a sour taste on that, sour and fruity. There is this Peach Melba Sour, lovely colour to it. It's a combination of both. You're definitely getting a peach and the raspberry on the colour of that one. It's in the light on it, you can really see the colour of that. Kind of almost like quite a dark red, almost like a blood orange colour. You know, you've got the raspberry influence in there, you've got the peach influence in there. Does look rather nice. No head on that whatsoever, but you don't normally get them from this style. Ingredients: Scottish water, barley, oats, wheat, peach, lactose, raspberry, vanilla, yeast and hops. Pilot Brewery are based in Edinburgh in Scotland, and they seem quite proud of that fact. This one isn't suitable for vegans because it has lactose in it. Let's get the aroma on this Peach Melba Sour. Oh, loads of peach, loads of raspberry, and has that sourness, that sour note on the aroma as well. It's really hard to describe sour when you're referring to aroma, but it kind of gives off that very subtle, almost sherbet kind of smell, you know. But it smells really nice though, to be fair. There's loads of raspberry in there. There's loads of peach in there. I've got a good feeling about this one because although peach is a stone fruit and raspberry are a berry, they kind of have the same kind of sort of texture. Obviously peach isn't a particularly sour fruit, and neither is raspberry. You know, you think raspberry, it almost has a smooth, almost creamy, a subtle sweetness to it, and it's the same with the peach. That too has a smooth, kind of almost creamy flavour to it. You know, I think these two should bond quite well. I'm hoping anyway, and we'll see what the sour influence has on it. But it says there's vanilla in it as well, so I'm quite interested. So let's get stuck in. Cheers, guys. Whoa. Oh, I tell you what. The sourness, it's not overpowering. It kind of comes mid-palate, the sourness, the big sour hit comes mid-palate rather than back of the palate. So you're not left with like an overwhelming sourness to it. It comes up big in mid-palate, but before that you're getting that smoothness and sweetness of the raspberry. Then comes the sour hit, and then you're left with a kind of a combination of the peach and the sourness at the back end, but the big sour hit comes mid-palate. The peach and raspberry work really well together. It's a lovely flavour to it. Really nice flavour. It's really refreshing. It's really quite light. You are getting that lactose there. It's giving it a slightly creamy mouthfeel. Very smooth, very drinkable. And the first hits your tongue, you're getting the raspberry sweetness. Big raspberry hit. And then just as your tongue's adjusting to that, boom, in comes that sour, sherbety hit. And it rises with the carbonation. It's nicely carbonated with this beer. You get the big carbonation hit with the sour hit in the mid of the palate, the mid of your tongue. And then you're left with a nice subtle peachy and raspberry combination. Oh, it really does work. It really is nice. The peach and raspberry together is lovely. Really drinkable. Really refreshing. Nicely carbonated. Nice sour hit, mid palate. But it's not overwhelming. It doesn't take over like a lot of these sours do. I'm salivating. My mouth is watering. I thought I was going to dribble for a second there. It's really fruity. Really fruity. There's loads of peach, loads of raspberry in this one. And the lactose just does a really good job at just kind of levelling it all. It kind of controls it all. You know, you worry that almost the raspberry sweetness is going to be overpowering. And then comes the sourness. It makes you forget about the raspberry sweetness. And then it calms down. The lactose kicks in. And you're left with a nice blend of the two. The peach and the raspberry at the end. Raspberry sweetness. Bang, there's the sourness. And the whole time there's that lactose, vanilla influence. It just stops it from becoming a madman. And you're left with a nice, creamy peach and vanilla finish to it. It's a very well made beer, this one. Sours aren't normally my favourite style. They are becoming more popular, but I'm still not quite convinced. But the peach and the raspberry work really well together, and the vanilla does a very good job of it as well. It just kind of levels it all out. Makes it bearable, you know. Lots of peach, lots of raspberry. Nice use of lactose. You are left with a slightly creamy mouthfeel to it. It is quite light, but it's not watery. I might have said it was watery earlier. I have to go back on that. Having tasted it a bit more, it's not that thin, it's not that light, it's not that watery. But it is drinkable, very easy drinking, very enjoyable. That one, if you like your sours, I do recommend you have a go on this one. It might not be to everyone's taste, this, but the peach and the raspberry do work very well together, and that vanilla also marries with them very well. And you're left with a very nice flavoured beer, and the sourness comes in mid palate rather than the back of the palate, which I think a lot of sours get wrong. It kind of, you're left, that's your lingering thought of the beer. Most sours, you're left with this sour thing. This one, it comes in earlier, and it kind of comes in sort of either side of the fruit. And it works well. This is a decent beer from Pilot. Boom, there's a sour here. But there's loads of fruit packed into that. Loads of fruit flavour. Good use of the lactose and the vanilla in that. Just levels it all out. That's a nice beer, that, from Pilot. I say, not my favourite style, but that's one of the better sours I've ever had. And I would probably drink that again, to be honest with you. Yeah, so Pilot Brewing. What are they called? Is it Pilot Brew? Pilot Beer from Edinburgh, Scotland. Their Peach Melba Sour. I quite enjoyed that. It's a very sweet but drinkable sour. I'm going to give that a 7.5 out of 10, I think. Quite enjoyed that. It's a 7.5 out of 10 for Pilot's Peach Melba Sour. It's a peach raspberry sour. So don't be fooled by the name of it. It's just as much raspberry, if not more, than there is in peach in this one. But that's enjoyable. I've liked that one. So yeah, it's a 7.5 out of 10 for that one. Give the video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, guys. Hope you have. And until my next beer review, guys, you take care.